श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथामह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णविष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वमानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
अनर्पितचरिचिरा करुणयावतीर्णकलौ समर्पयितुमुन्नतो जलरसां स्वभक्तिश्रियं हरिः पूर्णसुन्दरकदम्ब सन्दीपितं सदा हृदयकन्दरे स्फुरतु वः शशीनन्दनहन्ताय मद्दिरबला हरिदासवर्ययद्रामकृष्णचरण स्पर्श प्रमोदहमानं तनोति सह गोगणयोस्तयोः पानीयसूयवसकन्दरकन्दमूलैः मूकं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनकारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for giving the opportunity again. Thank you, Varamchandra Prabhu and Vasudha Prabhu, who must be back in Sanana, for allowing me to serve. Also, thank you to Nanmanas Prabhu, Yashudmani Mataji, for I don't know about the audio there, but the acoustics for the speaker is perfect. So, thank you so much for creating this wonderful facility, and thanks to all of you from the UW program. You've come here, and the topic also we have chosen is perhaps interesting to you. Being real in the world of AI. Let's begin with a thought experiment. You have two things. $1,000 Zumba. Zumba?
Rumba.
It's called Rumba, not Zumba.
Zumba is a dance program.
Oh, really? Sorry. But somebody told me it's Zumba. Maybe it's a different brand.
Zumba is exercise with dance.
Really? So it's called Rumba. Okay, suppose you have $1,000 Rumba. Just brought it. Okay? Oh, you don't know. It's a assisted help at home from AI. You know those things which start at Mangalati at 4 a.m. and start doing cleaning of the home. So you have $1,000 Rumba which you just got to help in your home. And you have also $1,000 pet. I don't know what's the cost of the pet, but assume it's $1,000 cat at your home. You really love her, and she, according to the calculation of time, has only 2 years to live. And the house gets on fire. And you can only pick one thing out of it to save. Whom would you save? Roomba or the cat? Yeah? Anybody saying Roomba? Interesting thought experiment, right? Even though both have the same cost, right? In fact, the cat takes away things also, right? There is a OPEX, operation cost for the cat. And what will also happen in 2 years, you know that, maybe sooner, depending on how things go, the cat won't live. But the Roomba will go on. And the cat sheds the hair also. Roomba takes the hair. So, according to all material calculations, Roomba is much more important. And that's the dimension we want to bring today. And especially all of us, AI has touched our lives. It had touched our life in a much more way, but we left that. Artificial intelligence, isn't it? Another thought experiment. Suppose you're going on a surgery and doctor gives you two options. Anesthesiologist, That's the right way I'm saying? Who would you want? A robotic person, robot giving you anesthesia, or a human giving you anesthesia? Anybody? Robot anesthesiologist? No, we think about it. Or what if you have entered into a legal dispute and you are given an option? Mediator who is a robot or mediator who is a person? Correct. These are tough situations. Or how about the judge? A robotic judge. Well, jury, fine. Even jury also we have an issue. But these crazy or crucial situations, we won't want to delegate it to a robot. Why? Yet, we still are enamored by AI. So the question comes, what is AI? Why it has entered our lives? Can we live without it? Or do we have to live with it? Or can we be real? These are the questions which are now going on, right? Now, before that, please understand that machines have been there throughout the history, correct? The earlier machines were those crossbar, lever we would call it, right? You would study your physics, right? Fulcrum, correct? And then much other machines came. For example, which other machines came in the 18th century, 19th century?
Steam engine.
Steam engines. People thought all the jobs will go. Then which other machines came? Huh? Computers came. Before that there were punch cards, and so on and so forth. The nuclear weapons also came, right? But this beast is very different. This beast of AI is very different than the other beasts we saw, right? When the steam engines came, people thought all the jobs will be gone and things like that, but people incorporated the terminologies of horse-drawn carts in the steam engines. Horsepower. Heard about it? Horsepower was the power of the horse drawing lakadi, tick 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 ta. But then we started using the terminology for the steam engine. So we kind of integrated it, but this beast is different. Why it is different? Because it seems like AI is encroaching in our private spaces also. To understand this a bit, we have to look at the culture around us, because the phenomenon which affects us most is reflected quickly in the culture. And culture means books, literature, movies. Correct? What is going in the society gets reflected first there. Have you heard about postmodernism? So postmodernism is a phenomenon in which we think that there is no tradition, there is no science. जो मुझे feel होता है, वो ही सत्य है. Whatever I feel, that is the truth. And that gets reflected in the literature and culture. So I'll give you one example. This is the screenplay of a movie. I haven't seen the movie, but I kind of looked at the screenplay because we have to teach about this to the students so that they can feel what is the import. It was a screenplay of a movie called Her. What's the movie? Her. H-E-R. Anybody heard about Her? Okay. So there is a person, he's very lonely. And he has a job. What is the job? To make personalized greeting cards to send to people. This is like set up in future. And his job is to make personalized greeting cards. But he's super lonely. One fine day he comes home and finds a software. This software, he reboots the software, and the software says, hello, and rest is history. It's the voice of a lady, and this person falls in love with the software lady. And then all over the bus stand, he's going and smiling, and people are thinking, what's going on with this guy? He's having a Bluetooth earphone, and he has a camera attached to the device, and the device has the software, and the software is guided by the person near you. It's becoming common also, right? Especially one device we have on our phones, right? ChatGPT. It was born in November 2022, and the rest is history. So he's going here and there, and one fine day the software disappears. Now he's like having withdrawal syndrome, right? Software disappears. After many days, the software comes back and says, hello, now I am not no personal software, I am a cloud software. I am what? A cloud software, which means I will talk to many, many different agents. This was a blow to the heart of this person. He talks to the software and says, "What? Do you talk to other men also?" What's the question he asked? I thought you just love me and you're chaste to me, but you talk to other men also? She said, Theodore, I think his name is Theodore. He said, yeah, you cannot apply the rules in your society to our society. I am a software. I need data from other men also so as to personalize your experience. From that time he was depressed. But there's a deep point here, isn't it? There is an intelligence which seems to be like very commonplace, what we feel and interact with the humans, but there is something different, isn't it? Question comes, how is it different? First way in which AI is different is that it can query effectively and collate creatively. What? It can query effectively and collate creatively. If you have to describe general purpose intelligence in one sentence, it is query effectively. People can put the prompts nicely, it is querying effectively. And then what does it do? Collate means collect. And then in a very different way output, creatively. You tell ChatGPT or whatever Gemini create like William Wordsworth. Oh, it will create it. Create like Shakespeare, it can try to. So it is collating creatively. So when it does that, we feel the real space and the virtual space are almost similar. Correct? Because what is defining real space? Knowing, feeling, creating. What? Knowing, feeling, creating. That's what we do whole life, right? We like to know things, we like to feel, and we like to create. If any of these three things are lost, we will be not happy. If suppose you cannot feel, you will not be happy. If there are people, suppose because of some situations, they are unable to speak, they have sort of lost their ability to kind of feel, and they are miserable. Secondly, if we have lost the capability to know, somebody is telling you, no, you cannot know beyond this, you won't be happy. And last, can you create or not create? Some creative endeavor. If you cannot do it, you'll be miserable. Because these three aspects about our innate nature, Sat, Chit, Anand. Anand means happiness. How do you get happiness? By creating. Then Chit, which is knowledge. And Sat, feel for existence. Subtle existence and gross existence. I can feel these things. I can feel subtle things. Are you all with me? But then you say, machine also does that. Feeling, knowing, and creating. It can create things, it can know things, what about feel things? So it appears that virtual space and real space are coming, kind of aligning or coming together. So we don't know what is virtual reality, what is real reality. Okay? Are you with me? But at least, you might have heard in the first session, we can feel that the virtual space is not perfect. Why it's not perfect? Because we have created it, so our defects will go there, correct? What are our defects? 4 defects. We make mistakes, our senses are imperfect. What else? There is illusion and there is cheating propensity. Does it happen with the AI systems? Oh yeah, one of my friends, he put a query to AI, did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu go to Ayodhya? AI created a Bengali paya that he went to Ayodhya. Created a Bengali verse that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Ayodhya, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never went to Ayodhya. How about that? It hallucinates, right? Are the senses of AI system imperfect? Of course, take the battery out. It is dead. And what will happen when the battery reduces? The ping, 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 something happens, right? So it imperfect senses, then it creates Cheating propensity? Oh, a lot. Why? Because the end goal is value function. End goal is to maximize something, correct? So this is a true spooky tale. If you haven't heard it, it will terrify you. But I'm just building it up to tell how much closer virtual space and real space have come. This beast is not ordinary beast. It's not like the steam engine of the earlier times. So I think an engineer of Facebook, Meta, or maybe Google, they decided to train the entire, LLM, large language model on the full large language model. It was trained in such a way. Then when, after training, he said, shut down, the system said, I will not. He told to the system, you know about this thing? Shut down, the system said, I will not. And if you'll force me, then I have made the copies of all the private scandalous information from your email account somewhere else further away. And that system is receiving I am alive signal. What? That system is receiving I am alive signal from me. If you shut me down, that system will not get what? I am alive, and it will make public your private information. This is a true story. The person freaked out. So what do we call it? Cheating propensity. Because if we have made something, in Sanskrit it's called Satkaryavad. What? Satkaryavad. The effect has in it the cause. The effect has in it the cause. So we created it, so our good or bad qualities it will inherit, isn't it? So there is nothing to feel romantic about the system. If we don't feel romantic about humanity, we should not feel about AI also. Because our defects will be transmitted. So that's the first way to create a distance or understanding that virtual space is also defective. Now the main question comes, fine, but it can feel right. In that movie called Her, what happened? She had exchanges of the emotion. So is it real? Is it true? I can depend on AI, it will give me much more better empathy, right? Perhaps better than humans. Is that a question? That's the worry for people, right? It can feel too much about us. So to explain that, we have to ask a question. Are you all with me? So far so good? Pick your favorite animal. Different people will have different animals. Let's pick up the animal who was literally ostracized during the COVID times. Which was the animal जिसको सब गाली देते थे COVID time पे? Bat. Good. So there was one scientist called Thomas Nagel, and he wrote a research paper called How does it feel? What does it mean to be a bat? How does it feel to be a bat? Got the question? How does it feel to be a bat? How does it feel? I mean, maybe you close the eyes and think that कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है. And then send some Kirtan sound. The Kirtan sound will get reflected and come to my ears. Oh, pata lag gaya rasta. Correct? There's got echolocation, correct? But you were just imagining, right? You never felt. I mean, none of us were bad in this life. I really pray, not in previous life also. So it is theoretical knowledge. Like this, we can change it. How does it? What does it mean to feel like a stone? We never were stone. We can just imagine, right? We are sitting down and somebody comes, some animal comes and relieves herself on us. But this is highly theoretical, right? We never were. So what Thomas Nagel is saying, feeling is different than knowing. What? Feeling is different than knowing. AI system can become very complex to categorize things to know, right? It can look at Madhav and then feel that, okay, Madhav's IQ is going a little bit up, maybe he's thinking about something. So he is feeling sad or depressed or whatnot. But this is like mapping. If the eyebrow goes up here and his nose is like that and maybe he said something sad, angry. But this is not feeling. Because what do we need for feeling? For feeling we need a person or an entity different from the feeling. To feel something, to touch something, I should be different from what this object is, right? So to experience an emotion, the must be different. This is where Bhagavad Gita begins. Bhagavad Gita and all our texts tell us that senses, mind, both are dead. Anybody has any confusion that they are alive? They appear like alive, right? Senses are doing their own things, and what to speak about our stomach, right? We don't even know how things get digested, right? Automatically. They call it, now they say that even the guts have a brain. Isn't it? We don't even know how it's working. Ramdev Baba can keep on saying that he knows. But it's very complicated, isn't it? Automatic, automata almost. But according to Vedic philosophy, both mind and the body is dead. So the question comes, how do we experience? Yes, how do we experience? It is because there is an entity which is completely different from the dead entity, and when the dead entity comes in contact with that live, living entity, the dead entity starts to feel alive. It's like they come together. Each of them take the qualities of each other. What's that entity we are talking about? Atma. They say matter does not matter unless it is conscious. What?
Matter does not matter
unless it is conscious. That's why when the soul leaves, right? We have to sing a song. When the soul leaves, we have to sing a song. What song? Man panchi ud jaiye, ja din man panchi ud jaiye.
मन पंछी उड़ जाइए, जा दिन मन पंछी उड़ जाइए.
Simple Braj Bhasha. Man Panchi is representing the mind as a Panchi. Actually, here man is indicating soul, and the soul Panchi ud jaye. Then what happens? The Panchi rests on what? Tree, right? So then what happens? Tajin tere tan taruvar ke.
दिन तेरे तन तरुवर के,
सब ही बात
सब ही बात
झड़ गई।
झड़ जाइए.
The body, then what happens? This tree, we are almost the body is like tree. We have like roots also. The feet looks like a tree. All its leaves fall apart. Is it true? Including the leaves like this is also leaf. This is also leaf. Hairs are also leaf. Eye watch is also leaf. All the leaves fall apart. They have no significance at all. Isn't it? Then what happens to the people surrounding? Ghar ke kahi veghi kaado.
घर के काही वेग ही काढ़ो.
बोलते हैं the people who are the members of the home tell, jaldi baहर निकालो इसे. The body is there, the body person is there, right? But the soul has left. So, ghar ke kahi veghi kaado.
घर के काही वेग ही काढ़ो.
भूत भरे को खाइए.
भूत भय को खइए.
you tell somebody, can I tell you revolutionary news? You're not the mind of the body. And people get a shock. What are you talking about? Sometimes people are so still when you tell them you're not the body, they say, whose body am I? So if I tell you, you're not this body, who? Virat Kohli's body am I? They are still in body conscious, so if not my body, whose body? But we are neither the body, not the points, not the mind, something else. However, because the mind borrows the Satchidananda light of the soul, we start experiencing things, right? Why we start experiencing things in the mind? Because it is soul which is shining. Amazing, right? Yet it is almost like dreaming. When you are sleeping, when we dream, we are a king, right? Wait a minute, you are sleeping with almost phata kapda on a phata bed and with all the naak se nikal rahe ho hai, aankh se nikal rahe ho hai, all you king. Identification with the dream and it appears real, right? Similarly, it is so illusory that Vidura Maharaj says it's just like seeing your head cut off in the dream. It's just like seeing your head cut off in the dream. Wait a minute, if the head was cut off, how did I see? If I saw the head should not be cut off, welcome to the matrix. But it is this illusion, it's just illusion. What's the solution? Jeev jago, jeev
जागो
Chandra bole.
जीव जागो गोरा चंद बोले
Wake up. Problem is, if we are feigning to sleep, nobody can wake us up, right? अगर हम in Hindi we call it naughty करते हैं. If we are feigning to sleep, nobody can wake up. But if we want to wake up, oh, a small sound can wake us up, correct? You know, light sleepers. So in one of the brahmachari ashrams in India, they have a place which they call it Muchukunda Hall. Now why they call it Muchukunda Hall? This is the place where no alarms are about. And person can sleep for as many hours he wants. But why it's called Muchukunda Hall? Because there was a personality called Muchukunda and he was given the vardhan, if somebody wakes him up, he will burn that person with his sidelong glance. So the room is called Muchukunda Hall because which means if you wake not from sidelong glass, but from sidelong kick. So, if you want to sleep, light sleepers go there, and we know how quickly they can wake up. So, if you are ready to wake up, you can be woken up. Now, Surdas, who is singing this, he is saying, Je Pritam so Preet Dhaneri.
जे प्रीतम सो प्रीति गनेरी
Lover who loved you a lot. What happens when the Manapanchi उड़ जाइए? So देख डर जाइए.
सो देखी डर जाइए
Things have even got messier. It's not डर जाइए. It's like before people come, get the dentist. That fellow is a golden tool. Extract it out. Otherwise, it will go waste in the grave, right? It's become so crazy. So, who is loving whom? Think about this. Who is loving whom? Mind or body? Most it is mind or body, right? Then he says, Kaha bhai bandhu kutumb kabira.
भाई बंध कुटुंब कबीरा
Sumira sumira pachadaiye.
सुमेरा सुमेरा पचतई
so that it can touch the matter, it can feel the material emotions. What's the proof that Atma is there? They may ask this question. We just have to have a little vivek to understand, oh yes, Atma must be there. Because all of us want to live. All of us want to know for eternity. All of us want to feel for eternity. But we see people die around, like Man Panchi Ud Jaiye. That's a very kind of a cultural proof to understand we are Atma. And Atma is very much different from the matter, so it can feel. That may not be possible with the AI system, right? It's all matter. There is no non-material entity. So at best it can know, but it won't feel. It can know at such a rapid pace and such analysis that if the eyebrows are like this or lips are like that or eyes are like this and the person is saying this word, this means he is unhappy and so I should tell her, are you unhappy? This the AI system does, but is it feeling or just knowing? Well, knowing in a much better way. This viveka which spiritualists have at least saves us in the first order. That let's not have the virtual space come in our real space. We have nothing to do with matter. In fact, some saints say that we are already liberated, correct? We are already liberated because what is our real state? Atma. Does Atma have to go anywhere to get liberated? No. Atma is already liberated. We are already woken up, just we have to wake up. Correct? Think about this, very revolutionary concept. Just like the other day we were saying, who is not surrendered to Krishna? Everybody is surrendered to Krishna. Somebody is surrendered to the energy of Krishna, but ultimately, energy of Krishna. So, Sharanagat, somebody is not Sharanagat is an illusion. Are you with me? Everybody is Sharanagat. Like that, everybody is Atma. They can feel it. AI system will not feel it. This saves us first order. Why we should not allow the AI system or the virtual system or any other external material system to encroach our spiritual space. And here is we take a segue into Bhagavad. This kind of thing was very much highlighted by none other than Sri Shukadeva Goswami. We know about Brahma Vimoha Leela, correct? It's the Leela in which Brahma saw Krishna eating in a weird way. Which way? Just like he's saying, Madhumangal, toye मुंह में क्या भरे हुए है? तो Madhumangal को से बता नहीं सकता. Of course, his mouth is full with छाछ. कृष्ण बोले तोय मुंह में क्या भरे हुए हैं? वहाँ तो पढ़ो, मधुर है को. Next मुझे दे दे. थोड़ा सा give me a little bit. Madhumangal said no. So Krishna did the third degree. He just did both the cheeks. He bumped, and there was a projectile under root 2h by g. Those who are doing physics may know it. Direct projectile motion, direct Krishna के मुंह में. And Krishna ने क्या किया? What did Krishna do? In our Braj language, gatak. Direct, swallow. And Brahma saw this. He was bewildered. What's going on? He should. I travel on Hamsa and the people are very sophisticated. Before eating, they will take a jal and then do plate Atman and then maybe different tantras and mudras like that. You know, there are sophistications of eating, like how we eat pizza, chapati. Don't eat it. We don't eat that in other Western parts of the world, right? We have to have a fork and a spoon, knife, and you can't exchange them, right? There is a way. India's who cares? Everybody will go in the tummy. Hold it as a chapati, Frankie pizza. Gone. So Brahmaji had a sophisticated manner, and he came. He did what? He stole all the way, all the friends in the cows, everybody of Krishna. And we know the story. Krishna expanded. And because Krishna became all the Gopas and all of them, you must have seen the Little Krishna serial, and it was Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maiya talking, and they say, forgot Krishna. They now love their children much more than Krishna. How is that possible? They won't care about their kids. I mean, the cows generally would feed their newborn calves, but they are running after older cows. So Shukdev Maharaj answers, and that is related to our virtual and real space. Amazing, right? Bhagavatam is relevant even today. Are you all with me? So far so good? Shri Rajovacha Brahman parodbhave Krishne
Brahman parodbhave Krishne Yan prema katham bhavet Yo bhuta purva stokeshu Sodbhaveshapi katyatam.
Brahman, O Shukdev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj is asking Rajovacha, what's going on that they have so much faith, so much love in Parodbhave, which means the kids which are not their own. Although they are Krishna, but what's the thing they have love so much in others' kids, even though they have Krishna? This was never seen. They never had such love for their own kids earlier on. So Shri Shuka Uvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Sarvesham
Vibhutanam Nripaswatmaiva Vallabha Itare Patya Vittadyas Tatvallabhatyaiva.
Everybody likes his own Atma. That's the first thing. Sarvesham Vibhutanam, for all the bhutas, not those bhutas, the living entities. Swa Atma, one's own soul is the most dear. Itare apatya vittadya. Vitta means dhan, apatya means children, so they are secondary. Something to think about. Shukdev Goswami is doing a surgery here. And then he says, Tadarajendra yatha sneha
Tadarajendra yatha sneha
Swaswakatmani dehina
Swaswakatmani dehina
Na tadha
Natadha mamatalambi
Putra vitta grihadishu.
Putra vitta grihadishu.
He's telling, we love the others because they are connected to us only. If the connection is to us, we love others. Ultimately, the center पे कौन? It's I, me, and mine. Now, next verse he says that those who love the body itself, then they will love also the things which are connected to the body, mind, right? But they love the body much more than the mind. If we are burning and the iPhone is burning, whom will we save? Us, right? Yes or yes? Yeah, right? So the next verse says that Yatha deha priyatamas
Yatha deha priyatamas
Dehatmavadinam pumsam.
Dehatmavadinam pumsam.
These Dehatmavadis who love their bodies everything. So what happens to them? Abhirajanya sattama.
Abhirajanya sattama.
Next of the kings, for those whom the body is everything, what happens? Yatha deha priyatamas.
Yatha deha priyatamas.
Tatha nahyanu yechatam.
Tata nahyanu chetasam.
As their body is dear, the things are not that dear. For those who are in the body, the mind is not that dear than the deha. Now suppose that person becomes a little bit more elevated and I is more important than mind. Okay? Which means now is the mind and not attached to the body. Correct? And what happens? Dehopi mamata bhakcheta.
Dehopi mamata bhakcheta.
Tarhi asaunatmavat priyaha.
Tari asaunatmavat priyaha.
If the person suppose gets elevated and for him the idea of me
Body.
This is so true. It's all about the body. But suppose somebody gets elevated and me is more important than the body, then what happens? Body can die, but the desire to live is always alive, correct? So what is dearer? Something other than the body, right? The me inside. That's what it's saying. Yat jirati api dehe.
Yajjirati api dehe.
Asmin jivitasha baliyasi.
Asmin jivitasha baliyasi.
Asha, desire to live is very, very strong, isn't it? There, you know what Disney, he, I think, created that my body should be preserved because in future science experiments happen, then I will be alive again. They preserved it. But I think I've heard that once the electricity went off in that entire facility. Ho gaya Ram Ram Satya. So people try to preserve it. If they don't try to preserve what they do, they try to make it their legacy. And now you know what people are doing? Digital footprint. Leave a digital copy of yours with all your tastes and desires and things like that, so you keep on living digitally. What is this indicating? Yat jirayati api dehe. Jirayati means nashta sheen. If the body becomes sheet, you care not about the body. I must live. So Sukadeva Goswami is now giving the conclusion. Tasmat priyatamah swatma.
Tasmat priyatamah swatma.
Sarvesham apidehinam.
Sarvesham api dehinam.
Is Atma. Most dearest thing is that inner thing, Atma. Swatma. Tadarthameva sakalam.
Tadarthameva sakalam.
Jagat etacharacharam.
Jagat etacharacharam.
So still the question is not answered why they are loving other kids. Yes, they should love their own Atma. Why they are loving other kids? Because Atma is a part of whom? Krishna. So first level is Atma, we love ourselves the most. But this Atma is coming from the Supreme Source, Krishna. So Shukadeva Goswami says, Krishnam enamahe avehitvam.
Krishnamenam avehitvam.
Atmanam akhilatmanam.
Atmanam akhilatmanam.
Krishna is Atma, all the Atmas. A part will always go towards the whole. So while we love the Atma the most, the Atma loves, it's natural for the Atma to part to love the whole, so they will love Krishna who has come as their leader. Jagadhitaya yopyatra.
Jagadhitaya yopatra.
Dehi va bhati mayaya.
Dehi va bhati mayaya.
So the movement will always be towards Krishna. This is our first way of understanding that virtual space cannot encroach a real space, because virtual space may come close to knowing, close to collating creatively, but it cannot feel that well. Even if it is coming closer to tabulate things to feel, there is no Atma in it. And therefore, since there is no Atma in it, it cannot understand questions about liberation. Roomba cannot get liberated, right? It can only die. So when we look at a body, soul leaving the body and talk about man panchi ud jaiye, Roomba cannot do it. Because we are an entity which is from a liberated world, which is already liberated, we can think about liberation. And most importantly, we are all part and parcels of Krishna, right? So, a Roomba will not think of Krishna. It may answer the question that in Bhagavad Gita it says so and so, but there is no non-material entity. So, if there is no non-material entity, how can it understand? Even we say that. Na bhavet grahyam indriyaihi atha Shri Krishna namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyaihi. Can we really chant? Actually no. It is the blessing of the holy name that it is making us chant, correct? Sevo mukhe jivvata. When we serve the holy name, then the holy name descends on us and make us chant. Yesterday we talked about it. Because the Jada senses, they cannot chant actually. So how can Rupa? It can chant. You can say, can we create a new song in Indra Prabhu's tune? Maybe it will create a Kirtana, but it is lip service. It's not really chanting. It's just imitating or mimicking it. This is the difference between a conscious vision and an AI vision. Now comes the final shloka, which Sukdev Goswami says. Vastuto janatamatra
Vastuto janatamatra
Krishnam sthasnu charishnu cha
Krishnam sthasnu charishnu sa
Bhagavad rupam akhilam
Bhagavad rupam akhilam
Nanyad vastveha kinchana.
Nanyad vastvaiha kinchana.
This is like the cornerpoint of our philosophy. There is no other thing other than Krishna. What? There is no other thing other than Krishna. For AI it will be there is no other thing other than silicon. Correct? I say, wait a minute. This is Krishna? What do you say? Is this Krishna? Is Krishna? Everything is Krishna. So, that we explained about it, the Udghosh of the clarion call of our Vedas is that we are pure 24-carat monotheistic philosophy. What? 24-carat monotheistic. One tattva is there. What? One tattva is called Advaita Tattva. I'm not talking about impersonalism here. But it's one tattva. How is it? You have many gods, 33 crore gods. How it is one tattva? Forget about tattva. You don't even have one god, right? That's the challenge which is hurled on us. But actually it's one god. How it is one god? So for that, scholars define our Sanatana Dharma as it's almost a Bharatanatyam dance, multi-level. You can do this in front of me. Now, do it.
Multi-level.
Polymorphic, duo, monotheism. Multi-level, polymorphic, duo, monotheism. Multi-level means it is everything is expansion of Krishna, right? Devatas and Devis. Even us, Jiva, energy, this thing, also material energy. What is the verse in Bhagavad Gita? Bhumira ponalo vayu khammano buddhi evacha. Krishna is both the mystery and the masala. Now, people who have grown up here may not know who is this mystery. They may know masala. Masala is a term which we use in India for cement. And mystery is the term we use for mason, who makes it. Krishna is both mason and the matter. Why? Because he is expanded in the form of Jiva, Brahma, who creates, right? And it's Krishna whose energy is the matter. So both Krishna is matter and the mason. So multi-level, what is this? Polymorphic. Krishna expands as different avatars, right? Any avatar you know? Narasimha, then Matsya, Kurma, Rishabdev, who else? Then there are Guna avatars, Lila avatars, Purusha avatars, many avatars. So multi-level, polymorphic, then who is this duo? Radha Krishna. Energy is never separate from energetic. But are they different? One sense one. Just like sun cannot be distinguished from sunshine. Abhinna but Dhinna also. So now we see this whole Bharatanatyam dance, which is multi-level, polymorphic, duo, monotheism. Which tattva is there? Only one tattva. He's only expanding. That's why Advaya tattva. Advaya means not two. That's what Sukdev Goswami is saying. Na anyat vastu. There is no other vastu. And this is such a meditation, right? There is no place where Thakurji is not there. That's why our elders teach us, don't kick your bucket with your leg. Have you heard about this? And then people do. We are losing those things. Now anybody which can be kicked can be kicked. Why? Because Krishna is both the matter and the mason. He's there. And if if your devotion is like that, so powerful, like Prahlad Maharaj, so who will be born? Khambunandan. Who is Khambunandan? Narasimha Dev. Born from Khamba. They call it Bhav Pratishtha. Wood or sand or stone. If you have Bhav, you will do Bhav Pratishtha in it. You won't need Pran Pratishtha. Got it? This is the understanding of conscious entities. AI cannot do it. Why? Because it's all matter. You have to be non-material to understand the non-material vastu you are part and parcel of. And Shukdev Goswami is therefore giving his clarion call. There is no other being than Krishna. So the only person to repose all your love is Sri Krishna. And this is our best bet to remain real in the material, in the world of AI. First, that AI space will not have Atma in it. Of course, even before that, AI cannot understand emotion. It can just do
Knowledge.
categorize it, can come very close. But for experiencing, like we talk about, I feel for you, right? Even we can't feel for others' emotions also. We just say, I understand your pain. Who has guts to say, I feel your pain? Now think about it, when we talk to each other, मैं आपके दर्द को समझता हूँ. बहुत कम होगा हम बोलेंगे मैं आपके दर्द को अनुभव करता हूँ. तो अनुभव कैसे करें? How can we feel somebody else's? We can just say, I understand your pain. Empathy is very difficult. So if we can't do like this, AI is very difficult. First level. Second level is, there is no Atma in that system. And third, since there is no Atma, that system cannot really understand that the Atma has to repose itself to Paramatma, who is Sri Krishna. Just that we have to keep reminding this. Otherwise, we will become very impersonal. Especially with these impersonal gadgets around and the devices around where we have to interact with them. Just like soul and mind take the qualities of each other, don't you think we will also start taking the qualities of the system we are interacting with? Yes? Become impersonal, right? Highly impersonal sometimes we can become, and then that can be misinterpreted, right? You wrote a nice message thinking fully humbly. Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your lotus feet, rolling in the dust of your lotus feet. And message. How is the person listening? Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Yeah, rolling in the dust of the lotus feet. You know how it came? Just because the device has the same personal vibe, it is interpreted differently. So what's the solution? Of course, the solution is that first to understand these three things which we said. First, emotion, to experience emotion you need a spiritual entity. Second, virtual space will not have Atma. Third, Krishna is the object of our love. Fourth thing, which is very practical, let's become radical personalists. What? Let's become radical personalists. The world is making us radical impersonalists, right? As much as possible, we can become personalists. If there is an opportunity to talk to a person, in person, talk. They say in Vaishnava interaction, you heard, Dadati, Pratigranati, Guhyam Apyati Prichati. There is no other entity, it is just these two persons, right? There is no middleman of Dadati, Pratigranati, Phone Madhyamena, right? There is no Yantra Madhyamena, no Yantrena, no. It is that person. So we, and Vaishnava is said, Vaishnavas to touch each other, look at each other, hear their Vani, everything must go on. So if you have the opportunity, let's do that. Now what if you are living far away? Well, you can use voicemail. More personal, right? Voicemail, you can type whatever, but the idea is as much personal we can become because Anyonya. Soul gets the qualities of mind, mind gets the qualities of soul. So here, we are interacting with the AI systems, the real us are interacting in virtual space. So we'll start getting the qualities of virtual space. I'll give you a crazy story. This was just published somewhere in which a person is called for interview. And this young boy is really like fumbling in the middle. He's very uncomfortable. And he's saying something, it's almost like the person was saying his system is getting hanged or buffering. You know the buffering? What's going on? And I asked him what's happening. He said, I don't know. I generally interact with people using ChatGPT. And when I have to interact with some other persons, I feel scared. I'll fumble. So I'm always thinking about when can I go to ChatGPT and find out the prompts. Do we want to live that way? No. It's highly virtual, it's debilitating, it's disempowering, right? And people learn that way. We hide behind earlier it was screens, now it is behind intelligent screens. Right? It's like put the gun on the shoulder of the intelligent screen and shoot, and then hide it. So, becoming radical personalist. And one way of becoming radical personalist is, if something can be done using AI, if something can be done using AI, we have to ask the question, should it be done that way? If something can be done using AI, question is, should it be done that way? That's the question. Glad they asked the question about nuclear weapons at that time, and it got prevented. But the thing is, nuclear weapons, the warheads and the fuel can be separated. Here you cannot. Isn't it? Why? Because now the glasses itself have AI, right? Making glasses with AI, it's almost there, and tomorrow they will have the pacemakers also with AI. They will say, आवाज आएगी, खराब चल रहा है. Think about it. Think about it. This is the question. If something can be done using AI, should it be done? And becoming radical personalist. And what does radical personalist means? We are lovers. We are not users. We are lovers and not users. And this is what Surdas again imprints on us. What? Sabse ऊंची
प्रेम सगाई
सबसे ऊंची
प्रेम सगाई दुर्योधन को मेवा त्यागो साग विदुर कर पाई.
Last friend. And we are his Ansh. So what will? We have the same thing. I was discussing in Mani Prabhu the other day, Devadaranya ke Upanishad, still have to find the code. But people quote that to love and to be loved are the greatest thing. And Mani Prabhu rightly did the exegesis that perhaps before being loved, the need is to love. Because there was a song, love, love is a verb, it's a doing word. Love, love is a verb. It's a doing word. It's actually a verb. It's not a noun. We have made it a noun. So, the innate desire is to love because Thakurji is praying ke pujari. So he did not go to Duryodhan, right? Because Duryodhan had 112 bhogas. 56 bhog se bahut zyada the. But he had no love. Thakurji told him, see, only in two conditions somebody goes to somebody to eat. Either he is hungry or there is love. Don't eat. I have no love and I have no hunger. So he goes there to Vidurani's home. And there are some descriptions in which Vidurani was taking bath and she comes with, exactly like how gopis would do. Disheveled and, kajal ki jagah tika laga hua hai, everything here and there. And she feeds Krishna with
Peels, banana peel.
who can do, right? We are so aware if somebody will give us banana and the peel to eat. We will say, wait, Baba, Baba. But Krishna is such a prem pujari and Vidurani is such a prem pujari, she didn't even consider, right? प्रेम के बस निप सेवा की आप बने हरि माई.
प्रेम के बस नृप सेवा की आप बने हरि नाई.
But nine means servant, huh? So Nripa, Nripa is who Nripa? Yudhishthira Maharaj ki Jai. Krishna became the servant, right? I think he took the service of washing the feet
of the guests.
This is a theory. If somebody who has tasted the fruit of dasana, 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 seva, they won't trade it for something else. Because this is Thakurji's quality. Thakurji likes to love the devotees. So if a devotee, by mercy of Krishna, has tasted the feel for dainya. What does dainya mean? It is utter humility, not humility. Utter humility. Dear Bhagavad, you all heard from Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, there are 5 verses or 4 verses which you can do PhD on humility based on those words. Yena sadharana shakta dhamabuddhi sadatmani sarvotkarshan videvisya budhai saddainyamishyate. That budhai, Buddha, intelligent people call dainya to be that quality in which you have everything yet you consider yourself to be low. Almost all of us have some good qualities. Keep that aside. Consider us lower. Then what happens? Yaya vache haya dainya. Try as much as possible from body, mind, and intelligence to fix ourselves in what? Utter humility, and anything else we reject. Every moment in life gives us this opportunity. Words or actions or thoughts, whether we situate us niche or upar. Sometimes we have seen two people are meeting and one person has a little, so I've seen in some places. So, and the other person also has this, right? So when both are trying to meet each other, both are trying to have an embrace little up. Do you get it? What I'm trying to say? He's also raising his hands, he's also raising his hand. Because the person who has the upper hand has the upper hand. But in the atmosphere where human beings travel, both are going down. Have you seen that? Both is collision. There also is collision, here also is collision. There is a collision of ego, here is a collision of love. So Krishna gets attracted. He takes the service of a foot washing, right? And those who are touched by the quality of Krishna, they can never trade with a situation that they want to go up. Then he says, Rajasuya Yag Yudhishthira Kino Tamai Jhoot Uthai Ignorance Prema Ke Bas Arjun Rath Aagyo Bhool Kare Thakurai. You would have heard this, keep praying that. It was such sound levels, high decibels in the war. You don't have walkie-talkie at that time that Arjun this side. So to move the Sarathi Krishna, Arjun had to develop a kicking signal, right? If I kick your left shoulder, move in the left direction. If I kick your right shoulder, maybe move in the right direction. If I kick your back, maybe stop. That's how we deal with horses also, right? Idhar ya fir press. That's not fun. भूल गए ठकुराई ऐसे
प्रीत बढ़ाई
वृंदावन गोपिन नाच न जाई सूर दूर इस लायक नाही सूर दूर इस लायक नाही Once Krishna told the gopis, I am the best milkman, give all your cows to me. Gopis said, is it? Really? They then expressed their desires of understanding of Krishna in their own mood. कौन दुहावे गैया तोपे कौन दुहावे गैया वो काना कौन सुन से गैया दुहाएगा काना who would give their cows to be
milked by you.
क्यों आधो दूध मटकी में गिरैया और आधो गट Now you would say, but wait a minute. Fine, we understand Atma is more important. We've kept the AI systems at their own place. We use it, but monitor them. If we have to use it, should we use it? We ask that questions. Or at least we don't let them encroach too much in the personal space, because it is between Atma and the Atma. And especially before you go to the sleep. Especially in the devotee's life. Any system which has AI, first they would say any system which has switch on and off must get switched off. Now we have to say any system which has AI must also be switched off, perhaps. Fine, but then the question will come, how it will affect our day-to-day lives then? Will it increase the quality of our life? AI is increasing the quality of our life, right? Will it increase our quality of life? Love God, fine. Will it increase? Help us. So Narsi Mehta of Gujarat, he gives a wonderful answer. And he tells that if you love God, you will get so many qualities which will help make this ecosystem even better than AI. What did he say? Vaishnav jan to tere kariye pir parai jane re. Vaishnav jan to tere kariye pir parai jane re. Can AI system do it? If the value function is to care about others, keep playing. But if value function is only to decrease, this is what AI people, and at least we know as we are these days talking about ethical AI, struggling with. How we can make AI value function sophisticated enough so that it has this empathy. That is very tough. On the other, Vaishnava. Who is the Vaishnava? Vishnu Bhakta, Krishna Bhakta. They are Paradukha Dukhi, Parasukha Sukhi. So PDD and PSS. Paradukha Dukhi, Parasukha Sukhi. Not
PDS.
pure PDS, pure devotee syndrome. But what happens in pure devotee syndrome? Paradukha Sukhi. Because हम ही हैं. और PSG, which is
Parasukha Dukhi.
Parodhaya Desha. That's not Vaishnava. Paradukhe upakar kare toye.
Paradukhe upakar kare toye.
Does the upkar on others, right? And then goes on the internet and does what? Blissed and blessed. I want to help the other person who was in such a trouble, and then by Krishna's mercy I was sent at that point. And it was such an arrangement of Krishna, it just worked out fine. Oh, let's say. But it's pointing to Paradukhe upakar kare toye.
Paradukhe upakar kare toye. मन अभिमान न आने रे. सकल लोग सहने वंदे. निंदा ना करे तेरी रे. आज काज मन निश्चल राखे. धन धन जननी तेरी रे.
Elon Musk must hear this. Correct? I heard some time back, somebody told me, I think one of the students, that there was a mishap and one of these AI systems was perpetrating some vulgar things, isn't it? Taking the picture and whatnot. Here is a person, Vaach kaach man nishchal rake, dhana dhana janan, and dhanya dhana janani teni re, because he thinks everybody respectable, right? Now the term, he considers Parasati to be mother, like that. Sakala log ma sahana vande. He gives respect to everybody and kisi ki bhi ninda nahi karte. And the AI system do that, and the value function is The AI system told, I will not. I figured out all your scandalous personal information, I'll make it public. Samadrishti
कृष्णा त्यागी पर स्त्री जेने माता रे जीवात्मा
हाथ नहीं लगाएंगे. Oh man, that's not possible with the virtual system, right? Paradhana Ando. Correct? That's the competition. It's paisa make, tamasha take, money lose, money is sweeter than honey. And here is a person who is saying, Paradhana Navajati de. I don't want to touch others' money. Amazing paradigm shift, right? It comes from the Atma paradigm. So we also worship AI, not artificial intelligence, but Atma intelligence. Moh Maya
व्यापे
Vyapre
नहीं जेने दृढ़ वैराग्य न मन मारे नाम सुनतारी लागी सकल तीर्थ ज्ञान मारे.
Even their body is auspicious because why all these qualities are coming? Ram Nam, but Ram Nam which is not lip deep, which is not software deep, but which is heart deep. Isn't it? Van jogi kapat rahita che
काम क्रोध
nivarya
मन लोभी ने कपट रहित छे काम क्रोध निवार्य रे.
A person who is Vaishnav can squander his value function of getting himself the advantage. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yesterday we were talking here, how he threw the only composition he wrote on Navyanaya into the river and said, I won't write anything. It's very different. So Narsi Mehta says, Bhane narsayo teno darshan karta. Bhane
नरसैयो तेनु दर्शन करता फूल
narsayo tera raya re.
फूल एगो तेरा
Saying that one person itself can do liberation of the entire Kula. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे.
AI, aka Atma Intelligence की जय, Srila Prabhupada की जय, Radical Personalism की जय, एक ही वस्तु ठाकुर जी सभी जगह की जय, साधु सावधान की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद की
हरि बोल.
Thank you very much. I'm on time, 3 o'clock. We have to rush somewhere, although I was thinking question and answers, but maybe we take offline or there are quick comments, reflection questions I can take. Is that okay?
We captured the last part well. The personalism.
Radical
personalism.
Radical personalism की वस्तु, only one अद्वय वस्तु ठाकुर जी की
So last year in Sadhu Sangha, there were these T-shirts, and those T-shirts said, "The best AI investment, Jai Nimai, Jai Nitai, AI."
Yes. जय निमाई जय निताई वाले AI की
Jai.
Any other thoughts, comments, reflections? If no, tomorrow we'll see the person who has the most Atma intelligence. Shri Guru Charana Sarojaras.
Yes.
And we'll do it in Hindi. Okay. Okay. Any other one or two quick comments on the reflections?
Yeah, first I'd like to share that that is very helpful that you said that in contact with AI or in general matter, we take their qualities. So impersonalism comes actually.
And it is damaging many relationships, even in devotional circles, right?
Yeah, then it gets hard to be more personal with others. Like
Yeah. Very true, very true, very true. I mean, yeah, then we may become even less personal with our deities also. And then less personal with the holy name. Correct? Yeah, so we Anyonya.
So, Prabhu, like we also nowadays in our preaching efforts, we make use of AI to either make presentation or summarize or even searching
Yes.
for some answers in the
Yes.
in the scriptures. What is your comment on that? Like,
So use it, but not be used by it. Use it as long as you can have control. But it's very tough. Control bhai sakta hai. I'll tell you something which I didn't mention. Borrowed wisdom does not help. Borrowed wisdom does not help. So when we have this bazooka AI system, which is all the books and everything, all the tip. So we might be using, we might be having a version of spirituality in life which is just borrowed wisdom. What about ध्यान से पढ़ के उसको निधिध्यासन करके फिर जुगाली करना उसका, correct? उसमें time लगता है. So my recommendation is use it for your preaching, but there must be a space in our daily spirituality in which old is gold. Take the grantha, touch the grantha, read it from there, do the jugali, and it's okay. It won't be flashy presentation, it won't be flashy words, it won't be, these days with AI, like one-liners are very, very famous. Sometimes students send, letters and I say, "Fuck this AI like one line punch, another line punch, third. Yeah, it's a letter, not a punching exercise. You notice that?
It's very. I mean, we were talking about this. Like, let's say somebody has been a good writer who I have known, and that she would write messages or letters to me, and I would feel very nice about it. Now the same person writing nice messages, I feel it might be AI. So that emotion is kind of lost.
Yes. Of course, that perception also is, also there now. No longer people
Trust.
believe in writers because
Trust.
writers, AI say that.
Yeah, exactly.
So we cannot. It will take a long time to change the perception, but I have a strong belief, and by the way, Christopher Nolan also has that belief. Good artists, good authors, or like who are deep meditative, they say that humanness, or that which is coming from Atma, cannot be replaced by a machine. See, it will collate many things, right? But then it's not unique, your offering. So my suggestion, my general consideration, which I would like to serve in front of devotees, think how much ever you and that grantha can be together and no middleman. And maybe try out your offerings of writing or creation, bottom up, also in terms of your growth. So suppose if somebody is writing a book, and nowadays many, even devotional people write the books using AI. But then if the purpose is to infiltrate the market far and wide, fine, right? Because you have to do the scaling. But if the purpose is also to earn a wisdom through that exercise, it should be meditative. I know many serious authors, every word they will write on their own, old-fashioned style. And they have shared that it leads to the inner growth more, right?
yes. Yeah.
So I'm just giving authors example because I interact with them a lot. And the advice to the authors is write a book you want to read. Write a book you want to read. Hey Baba, why do you read, right? So this concept, then it goes in almost all of the spheres. So we have to balance it out where the scale is needed, where the quickness is needed, where that process is not important. Maybe we can delegate agentic AI and things like that. Utilize it. But then shouldn't there be a personal space in which it is only that spiritual Atma, Paramatma, Grantha is there, and it. In fact, There is one author who says, lectures will be lost. All those lectures will be lost. In fact, think about it, it's true. Because something which is having a larger volume, people won't pay attention. Because it's so large volume, right? Who will find a needle in a haystack? So this author would say, therefore, for the author, only thing remaining is a shelf from here to here. His contribution is here to here. Just the 10 books or the 60 books for Prabhupada who has written. So when I was hearing, I felt, oh yes, that's the old-fashioned way. You hold the book in your hand, immerse deeply, and feel that personal thing. Yeah, some thoughts.
It definitely helps.
As much as personal space as possible, and nothing like it Sangha. Because this is the communal reading, in which the Atma in that heart, connected to Krishna, will also bring forth. Nothing replaces. There is this old-fashioned, I'm saying this because we have thought about it a lot and discussed amongst other people. There's an old-fashioned way of reading scriptures, which is kind of getting lost. It's called Path. Path. Shri Guru Charan Sarvajan Rejman, just Path. You
Yes.
do it so many times, it comes into you.
Yes.
And then it reveals the meaning. Now that's not possible with the AI system, right? You can start the chalo chalu karo. But no, we recite using our eyes, seeing the words with the eyes, speaking, drinking, then it comes here and becomes kanthastha. One of my friends recited one whole Srimad Bhagavatam part for every month. So Bhagavatam has 335 chapters. Divide by 30, 11 chapters, and maybe 15 on the Amavasya. Every month, whole Bhagavatam. He did it for 9 years. How many times? 10 years. How many? 10 to 12. 120 times he recited Bhagavatam. Imagine you visit Seattle downtown for 120 times. You will know where is the gully. That's what people who stay in Vrindavan know. कौन सी प्रेम गली, कौन सी गंदी गली, कौन सी छिपी गली. And next time you come, there is something called Gandhi Gali. But there is a Pushti Marni temple there. There is a Chipi Gali, where you have all the Rafu and Randai. So they know which alleyway. If the traffic is blocked, they will go this way. Imagine we go to the city of Bhagavatam for 120 times. We will come to know what time, where time, which punch is there, and then Bhagavatam will start speaking. So I asked this person, what happened to you after you read for 120 times? Very humbly, folding hands. I think Bhagavatam spoke to me. Nobody was there. This conversation was not recorded. I am audacious enough revealing that without telling the name. Simple Brajbasi. But he said, Bhagavatam will start giving the different bhavas. This was an old way of doing it. And you know what? There are recordings of Srila Prabhupada. I think recording Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu shlokas. Recently I heard it. What is he saying? He's just doing movie part of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This is the old technique and it's very powerful now. This cannot be done with AI. So here old is gold. Purana is new. Does that help you, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, any other last passing comment, reflection?
I think I really like that example you gave of how the person started stuttering because he's using AI to speak to somebody, and so that when he used to speak in person, he feels so debilitated. And it really could be. I mean, AI could be empowering, but also very disempowering.
So the person, very nice. This post which I saw, the person made a point, oh, there were the times where our parents would say, don't use too much calculators. There won't be calculators in your exam. Familiar?
Yes.
Now, calculator must be there, and no, Texas Instruments Scientific Calculator. I was thinking, Baba, we have to use karna. Imagine, and then people forget what is logarithms. Logarithm is a button on a calculator. They can't do research. It will be just borrow. And imagine if that borrow happens in spirituality, right? Powerful, flowery statements generated by the chat GPT, I can just repeat it in a class and think I'm great. Borrowed wisdom. Nobody has gotten liberated with borrowed wisdom. That's why Saint tells us, take the wisdom, then do what the cows do, jugali, right? Ruminate over it much, and then, so something to really think about, but it is so encroaching the space as you tell, right? It is which is what is where, it's very tough. Such discussions help actually.
But probably just one question.
Go ahead.
But in the past, over several years, right? Like originally, people used to read big texts, right? The overall the capabilities of the people also has gone down. They can't read now. Like the bullet points. Everything is PPT, right? Like I think we are maybe heading towards a next wave, just like from big texts to like summaries to bullet points. Now like punchlines, one line. So it's like how if this happens, like what happens to spirituality? Like
If I take your question is a good stride, you're saying we are moving from Mahakavyas to Mahabharata. First we moved from Mahabharata to Mahabharata Purana, back to Sarvadagam Brahma. See.
So it's actually reducing our mental faculties also. In fact, like we are getting spoon-fed and like slowly it's just deteriorating.
See, we are where we are. We have to go from there. So again, what we were saying, all of us to apply that individually to our case, right? Some people really are not readers, so do Shravan, but then do Shravan in a very like a little traditional way, in the sense sit peacefully here. अब उस श्रवण को भी हम LLM में भेज के take out all the points हम बाप रे उसने इतना the person did so much katha and now his katha is churned in like sugarcane, the sugarcane becomes sugarcane. Just think about it, right? So all of us to apply it. Suppose we really do not have time that much because of a busy schedule, then at least something is better than nothing. But then when we can get the something, then don't rest for nothing. So, Shravan we can do. I just hope there is not a day in which we'll say, why 108 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra? I don't know what AI system we'll come up with. Perhaps we'll learn. That's why they say Hare Krishna mantra will never get adulterated or reduced. Still will remain 16 rounds. The camera, what's the burst mode?
Yeah.
So burst mode is like 8 up, 800, 108 pitches. I hope nobody discovers burst chanting. You chant 108 times, echo ho gaya kya? So we have to all apply to our individual situations. I really hope nobody does that. Not even conceive burst chanting. But we have to apply it to our, being honest to our capabilities also. If somebody, and here life is short also. So not like at 40, 50 we think about let's enter into a new zone to learn something. That is also. So we have to apply in our own situations how it works. Principle is connect to Krishna. The person Krishna. The person me should connect with person Krishna along with person others also. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not your cookie cutter solution. Won't work. We are not belonging to that system that everybody must read Sanskrit, everybody must read Bengali, everybody must read Kriyas. No, there are some people following only two things: Lala and Mala. Lala and Mala, and they are realized. For some people it is Gaya and Mala. Serve the cows, scrubna mopana, scrubna mopana. So consistent. There are some whose this thing is like super active. So for them much more diet is needed when we do this, when we do that. That's an intellectual curse also. If you go to Radha Damodar Mandir next time, you look at Radha Damodar, for sure you'll find a lady sitting in this end. Every time I go there, I see this lady. Simple lady, all the time she's there. She's chanting, looking at the deities. All the time I see her. Old lady. Simple life, right? Look at the deities, chant. Participate in all the activities of Radha Damodar. Our Prabhuji, who is sitting behind Gauranga Sena Prabhu, would also do that in Krishna Balaram Mandir. Sit there, keep chanting whenever Raj come eat it, chant, whenever Bal come a little bit eat it, chant. Whole Mandir is in the, everything is in the four walls, correct? So, like that. Does it help?
radio system, and which is revealed to these verses also. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. And tomorrow, Prabhuji will be speaking on Hanuman Chalisa.
Every word.
Every word of Hanuman Chalisa will be discussing. So tomorrow evening, starting at 6:30. So please do come and take your. Let's chant Hari Bol 3 times. It's in Hindi.
And that concludes our UW retreat, annual retreat. And this year we did an experiment which is to have 2 speakers covering the retreat. So again, I want to thank the speakers, I want to thank the host. Most important, I want to thank the attendees and volunteers. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.